The Meta court case is ongoing. They have earnings coming up, even a couple of weeks. We're learning some things anecdotally. There's some tea being released from the court case. A couple things of note that the reporting out of the trial. Zuckerberg is obviously defending the purchases of Instagram and WhatsApp. He's saying they made the platform stronger and more profitable. Obviously, that's his job to do so. He did push back on monopoly claims, and he's pointing to TikTok and YouTube, and there was a slide that's going around that basically shows the user interface of Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, essentially saying these are all the same thing. Obviously, the Reels really got a lot of inspo from TikTok, but I think that's interesting to watch. But the FTC is saying that Meta bought the rivals with the sole purpose of killing threats and wants to split Instagram and WhatsApp off. So this is an overhang. This is in the backdrop of their earnings coming up, and we talked about yesterday. Like, really interested to see, I know both of us are, what their ad revenues look like for Q1 and outlook for moving forward. I think that's going to be interesting to hear him comment on that and maybe even speak to what's going on in court.
Yeah, so I think their argument for Meta being a monopoly is stretched, especially because like there's competing products like out there, like YouTube, and YouTube's a real thing, and same with Google on like competing for consumer eyeballs. So maybe if this was 10 years ago, there might be a stronger argument, but now it's like it does have somewhat of competition. So I just think splitting up Instagram and WhatsApp, I wonder if there's some kind of national security angle on why they're trying to do that. That's the only way I can think about like arguing that they need to be split up, because both honestly are so popular in the world that there might be some national security and encryption of those apps. Either way, like Meta's a name that I've been wanting to own, and if I do own this name, I'm going to be cutting all my pure ad tech plays to add to this name. It's run up, it's significantly. I love adding names where there's a narrative disconnect between actual performance and what the stock is doing. Like narrative follows price action all the time. However, like I like to buy things when like the market's pricing them with too much FUD, and like this is not thesis breaking and or cracking. So like now, like you see, oh, it's from 740 to 500. Like you don't want to add it. Like that's a significant dip. You're right. I think ad tech names have been over earning the past year or so. So I think a lot of the forward estimates in ad is going to get revised downward, especially in a recessionary environment, which we are in a recessionary environment. Even if we're not in an actual recession, the psychological effect towards enterprises and consumers from tariff war is absolutely recessionary. So I think that's going to get hit hard in ads. So I'm waiting for like Meta's actually one of those names where like I can see any revisions downward, ugly 15 to 20% gap down. That's what I'm waiting for, like the under 400 price, to see if that happens and I capitalize, because everything Zuck's doing for the consumer side softening maybe temporarily on the speed bump, but the infrastructure side is absolutely widening and hardening, and they were right to create their Llama as an open source from the get-go, because that is the way it's going to be. LLMs become a commodity. It's not going to be. It's going to be open source essentially, and they knew that from the beginning. And they're have the best product out there, in my opinion, best position LLM out there, and they also have a monopoly right now in AR and VR. Sure, Apple might try to create a new version of their F up, but I have no faith in Apple actually conquering any innovations. I think it's Zuck's world, and yeah, I will be looking to add if we get. If honestly, if we're below $1 trillion, it looks like if it's under $400, that's like almost under 1 trill market cap, I'll add.